So now going into 2021, I realized that like a lot of us, the pandemic brought on some pounds, brought on some sedentary life. I work from home, my kids school from home, and we weren't getting out to do parties and events, which is a nice calorie burner carrying all that stuff, right? So coming into 2021, in December, I took on a challenge and I put it in my 90-day goals that I was going to lose a certain amount of weight by attending a certain amount of exercise and plugging back into a community with classes and people. And it was rewarding. Weight doesn't fall off me very quickly. So I have to find other ways to measure and stay motivated towards things that aren't necessarily a number, right? So it's a little bit of background.
I love that because it isn't always just about a number. I mean, you touched on it the entire conversation just now of it is not always about a scale. It's about how you feel mentally, emotionally, and in your day-to-day life. And if it takes making changes for that, then that's what you have to do. How did your family react and take to you making these changes and really kind of having to shift focus to make and help yourself be healthier?
Right. And I'd love to say that it was all sunshine and roses and they threw me a parade in the beginning. And in the beginning, several years ago before my move to Indy, we were in a strained relationship. And I'm sure some of the girls that are watching or in the page can identify with when you start to do self-care things as a female in a relationship, when you start to pay attention, spend more time out of the house at the gym, decide to go on more walks. In a strained relationship, that throws up all kind of red flags. What are you doing? Who are you doing this for? And so it just being vulnerable right here, it caused some conflict because he wasn't about the healthy things at the time. Now, fast forward as we've reconciled and seen more value in the relationship in each other, we're back to being best friends again. Everything is good. He's actually lost like 150 pounds. I'll post it in the group so you guys can see my hot college sweetheart, now husband, is now hottie. Hottie in his 40s, and that motivates me to keep up with it. So, he's now vegan, and my sister who stays with us is also vegan vegetarian. He's more a, dirty vegetarian in terms of we'll have cheat things. So if we can't find cashew cheese all the time, sometimes regular cheese is okay. And then that's that self-forgiveness thing. But bought the bike, the Nordic Track bike. It's kind of like a Peloton. The kids have taken off on it. He's taken off on it. I think they ride it more than I do, just because I need variety and they like the routine. So it's definitely earned its place in the home. But as far as eating healthy, adding things like a 5-gallon water jug to the kitchen for everybody, some of those daily changes they've adapted to and let out, and it helps with consistency. It also helps with forgiveness when I'm not consistent, right?
For sure. And I love that, making those changes and they become a habit. So it's almost like, where is my water bottle? Where is that 5-gallon jug? I need that. It kind of almost hinders your day a little bit. I find in certain areas it does if my routine is not there.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned having hard days and really needed to kind of change up your workouts, and it is hard to stay motivated sometimes. Tell me about, what do you do when you are having a hard time remembering your why or what you're doing this for, and what do you do to kind of push through that and overcome those obstacles?
Yeah, so a lot of times the hardest person on me is me. And usually it's when I'm trying to find all my satisfaction in fewer things than I should. So if I'm get on the scale and I feel bad about it and I forget all the other accomplishments that happen during the day, or if it's a point of comparison, which we shouldn't, because that's the thief of joy, right? A comparison is the thief of joy. It's really hard. And then also for our businesses, we're online a lot. We're on Instagram and we're seeing before and afters, and we're seeing all of these great success stories and transformations, and we want that. We still cheer for people, but then we want that. So we have to make sure we're not damaging ourselves in the process. So for me, it's going back and reminding, going through the mantras: I'm already successful, I am substantial, I am lovable, and going through those mantras that kind of help bring me out of finding my worth in a number or in something I can or can't accomplish at the time.
I love that, because it is important to remember that you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So comparing yourself to anybody else is not a good thing. It does not help you at all, your mindset. So I love that you're just taking time to remember where you were and where you are and where you want to keep going and the effort that you want to put into it. Anybody can say, sure, I want to look like a fitness model, but I don't want to put in that amount of work, to do that. So it's really taking time to understanding your specific goals and, really adjusting to those and focusing on those. So I love that. What kind of changes physically, mentally, emotionally have you found by staying consistent in your routine and doing things that are healthy for you? What have you seen change with that? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, there was like a car. It's the little stuff like my knees not hurting as much, or the CBD I put on my knees actually working faster with the arthritis and the other things that I have. It's still being able to try something new and make it through the whole class. So for me, it's not necessarily the number on the scale, like I was saying. Maybe my pants fit differently, but maybe not a new size. One of the recent encouragements I got is I ordered the Wild at Heart. So it was on back order, and the extra large, like normally I'm like, give me the 2, 3X. I'm that girl, right? And I was like, let me just try this on and see what it looks like. Maybe this will be nice. And it actually went on the body and able to function a little bit. Now the bottoms fit like panties. I'm just going to be quite honest. I'm a size 20, so the bottom fit like underwear, but it was something to see yourself in a different light. And I had been telling myself before, that's not going to fit you. That lingerie is not going to be for you. And based on where my weight falls, I'm able to fit in it in a size 20 so far, but it's just being able to remove yourself from an I can't list is always fun. To say, oh, I can't hula hoop, and then go to the hula hoop class, or buy one of the Big Mama Ruby hula hoops that I have that's like 50 inches, and be like, oh, I can hula hoop. It just needs to be a little bit bigger than I thought it needed to be. Or the Kangoo boot jump class. I can make it through the whole class, and then have Power P, who's the instructor, Precious here in Indianapolis, have her shout out like, you did it, and get that, encouragement. Or even dancing. By the pool at World Conference with Mariella Green, who's actually a dance instructor. So we have some really good motivators inside of Pure Romance, and tapping into your sister consultants, you'll find out that maybe something you thought you couldn't do, you can. And the key word is modify. You just modify, okay? Like June 1st. I don't know if you guys do virtual 5Ks out there, but the Wonder Woman one, I signed up for it with some friends, and they sent out this nice swag, and you get your bag and you get your medal, and you just have to register that you did your 5K, which is just over 3 miles. That was like a nugget for me. Like when I learned that a 5K wasn't 5 miles, it was like 3. I'm not good with measurements. I'm like, you can accomplish that, and that you don't have to run it. You can walk it. So modifying has been key.
I love that. And I love that you're finding the variety in that. I love that you do the 5Ks. How many do you do in a year, would you say? I know COVID hit and it changed things on how we did it, but how many 5Ks would you say you've done so far?
Usually I do like 2 or 3 a year. My first one was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. It was the color run, where they throw the colored powder at you. So my rule is it has to have a party at the end. And it has to, I have to get a medal, because, we like jewelry and stuff. I need to be able to do it with friends virtually or in person. So it's not a race for me. The first one I did, we trained hard and all extra clean and watched what we ate. And then the day of the race, it was totally just fun, dirty, didn't look at the clock, cut up our shirts really cute, had cocktails at the end of the line. And so we had a really good time. We pre-gamed with, like it was a Indy 500 race. Like we didn't have to go out and run around the fairgrounds, but you make your own rules with the whole thing, and it's super fun. But yeah, I do a couple a year, and that's where this virtual one came from. Usually I do the bubble run, the glow run, the color run, just all the things that kind of have a party. There's a wine run, beer fest, turkey trot. There's all kind of things, donut run. So when you go looking for them, you can find a lot of stuff.
Yep, I love it. And I love that you take your kids with you and they're there to cheer you on. I saw the pictures. You'll have to post a photo of that for us on Facebook. That's a lot of fun. So you mentioned, and I think you're absolutely right, about how many impactful, powerful, and motivating consultants we have on a wellness journey as well. Tell me, I would like to talk about then the Facebook page a little bit, or the MoveSpring app. What do you love about those, and how do you find those motivating to keep you going?
So I love interacting with other people, cheering people, and I guess that's the old cheerleader in me coming out, but basically growing up being part of teams all the time. If you guys played softball in the 80s or 90s, or even now, like hearing people cheer you on from the dugout, hearing your friends do chants and cheers for you it's motivating. And so as an adult, that doesn't leave us. And so when you have the MoveSpring app for people that are motivated by numbers and seeing progress and doing things in a group, that's why that's there. I mean, Sean Aker just told us that when we look at something big like changing our health, if we're doing that with other people, we have that camaraderie and you get to have that fun. You get to congratulate other people. And you find that, okay, well, other people talked about their weight. Their weight's the same as mine, and nobody like threw eggs and tomatoes at them. So then it fosters some self-acceptance as well. And then the Facebook group, when the app was added, I was like, I'm all in because I like pictures. I love being able to have comments under that. So we're used to the Facebook format. And I've been in Facebook groups for fitness in other walks. So the last time I kind of did, that big slim down before, but it was guys and females, and so it's almost like if you think about how our in-person virtual our virtual parties would be different if we had a bunch of fellas in there with different agendas for themselves. That yeah, we might vibe on some things, but in general it changed the whole tone of what's there, and some women would be very uncomfortable, and that's what was happening in those groups. That I'm a weightlifter, so I enjoyed having the guys that focused on those things, but at the same time there was like a more competitiveness. There was more look how sexy I am versus, hey, look, I can now, pull my socks up by myself, things that I resonate with. But I like that it's just us consultants. And because Pure Romance tends to be a more positive group of people, because that's what we expect of each other. We don't condone negative self-talk, and we don't beat each other up. It's been such a great experience to be in that group. And I'm really excited. And I hope everybody that's watching or everybody that's in the group, if they take a challenge to do the praise prism and add 5 people to this, and then come in and go do 5 positive comments on everybody's things. It's not hard. Everybody's been really, really posting, right, MJ? They've been posting all kind of stuff, and it's stuff all over the place. I've seen drink recipes, food recipes, smoothie recipes, what people are doing. I've seen power lifters on there, walkers, yoga, meditation. So it's not just, lose weight. It's not just bulk up. It's actually dealing with some of your personal health goals might be, I'm going to wash my face 1 more time a day or before I go to bed for my skin health. So your journey to wellness is completely up to you, but this group is inclusive, and I like that.
And I agree with everything you said. And I love the vulnerability of what people are posting and how honest they're getting with themselves and with all of us. I think it's so heartwarming and motivating to see that. And I think it makes me want to keep going and, go do 1 more thing that day to make myself healthier or happier for the day. As you know, health is not just about working out or eating well. What do you do for fun to keep moving and to kind of keep your emotional health in the right spot, or mental health in the right spot?
Honestly, and I know it sounds like a commercial, but it's true. The rise and grind every single day, starting my day with people that are positive, like let's go get it, that say hello, that ask each other, how your day is, that say, just having that infusion of positivity so early in the day. I don't know what I'd do without it. And then that led to me, being in a pod, like a little mini tribe of people with 3 other girls. And we ended up doing like a smoothie, the 10-day green smoothie. I actually gave up coffee for 7 days. And anybody that knows me, that's like not breathing for 7 days. So doing things with them and, having them give feedback, everybody running their own race, but being supportive. those are the daily things that I like. I sent them the picture today of that Wild at Heart. I'm like, oh shoot, y'all. And now we're like getting ready for national training. One person says they want to lose 20. Another person says they just want to firm up some parts. I'm trying to like just drop down to a size. And then for national training, like really it's the amount of walking. Duke Energy Center, y'all, if you haven't gone, it's amazing. And you're going to want to be up and everywhere. You're not going to want to be the person that's trying to sleep in. You want to get up and go. And so working on our fitness now is going to help us get ready for that. And y'all, Atlanta next year, if you haven't been to the Atlanta airport, good Lord, it's like it's its own city. So we're going to be training just to come to trainings, right? So lots of motivation in all different places.
I love that. What helps you stay so positive for all of this and going through all of your journeys? What helps keep you positive?
I think just because I learned if you have a predisposition to just being mentally unwell, or chemical imbalances, or all these things that, or for me being 45 and, you know, moving into premenopause, all those hormonal changes, there being negative doesn't serve me. And if that's my default and I have to fight against it, the more positive you can try to be, the more that becomes your normal. And some of that involves changing the conversation with people that you normally have conversations with. If it starts out, girl, let me tell you what happened at work today, and or let me tell you what my mama did today. Sometimes we have to kind of switch it up because people don't hear themselves. And if we're trying to be positive, we want to bring them along on the journey. Sometimes it means that we don't have as many conversations with people who can't make that shift yet, and that's okay. That's self-preservation. But really being negative doesn't serve me. And it doesn't help me be the person I need to be for my family and for other people as well. And I'm sure I have my moments like everybody else. I have that spiral. And I think it was Andrea Owens a couple years back at one of the training talked about pattern interruptions. When something gets messed up and you're like, okay, well, that happened. Let me reset and kind of go back into it with a better mindset. But really, you know, sometimes it's having my husband and telling me, you know, I had a day. Yesterday for me was a day. And it happened, and you try to move forward from it, you forgive it, and you move forward because it serves us better to be positive.
Yeah, I love that. You're absolutely right on that. I would like to know what your favorite workout is.
I actually love lifting weights the most. So the pandemic, not being able to go fully in the gym. I love dancing. So being able to hang out with Mariella Green and learn all her crybaby dances and like all the contemporary music, Megan Thee Stallion and all those things that you get to get going. That's a passion as well. But the Kango boots, that class is been amazing. It's jumping around, and I unashamed am in the 280s and my knees don't hurt at all. So those boots, along with a great DJ and a great instructor, will definitely give you a very quick, very intense workout that's safe for all ages.
I've never done it before. It sounds like a lot of fun. I have wanted to try it, but I've never had a chance to do it.
Do it. Andrea, you can do it. And you're going to post your pictures in the group when you have it done, right? Yes.
I love it. Thank you for talking with me today. I love talking to you and hearing about everything. I would love to chat with you again sometime. I think you have a lot of valuable information and motivation to share with us. So I hope we get to do this again soon sometime.
I hope so. And if nothing else, there's always national training where we'll see as many people as we possibly can.
Yes, for sure. I agree. Thank you so much, Erica. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.